Hello and welcome back to the Forged Alliance for Retard series with your host Nibelosky, bringing you some very high level action on Hilly Plateau version 2. It's a 5v5 game. Actually some really highly ranked players in this one, some of the highest ranked actually in Forged Alliance Forever. So we slow it down and we're going to get straight into the action this time, calling these guys up here Team 1, and at the bottom, as always, these guys down here, Team 2. So we meet the players and we start up here in Team 1, going first of all in UEF White is Lord Cavalrox. One of the more highly ranked players. I'm going to actually adjust the audio settings as for some reason my master volume is quite high, so we're going to adjust that down so I don't deafen my audience. To his right in pink is Olex, going Aeon, and certainly the usual economy that you come to expect. Down here in red is Luscious Slowly, who to my understanding is not Luscious Slowly at all. It's actually Pachirico, having changed his name. This is actually becoming a bit of a nightmare to replay these casts because I'm actually having to backtrack as to trying to find the correct names. But that is actually Pachirico. He is not gone for a sex change overnight. Just below him, going in yellow, in Aeon, is Faux Hammer, yet another name that isn't quite actually his true identity. It is actually Action, going in yellow Aeon. And their last player on Team 1, Fee, and I'm not even going to try and go through all of the all of the numbers. Fee is actually BC's Blackheart, the behemoth of a player, which I'm sure you've seen in pretty much every cast, every shoutcaster for this game. In any case, flip over to the other side, get all of the names out of the way. Down here, going Seraphim, our first Seraphim player of the game, it is Sadman. Actually, not Sadman, another familiar face. It is Chosen. Actually, I have to say, I do like the colour he's gone. I think it's quite neat how the Forged Alliance Forever modification has actually integrated the colours so well. Down here, another familiar face, going his very customary purple. It is Bladier, going Cybran. And watching a hydrocarbon power plant being put up nice and early. And just on the back row of Team 2, starting off with Kocher. I'm going to go for Kocher. He is going Seraphim as well, lovely bluish colour. Below him is Ish, also going Seraphim, going a slightly different blue colour. I'm amazed how many shades of blue they can get in here. Getting his hydrocarbon up. And last, at the bottom here, going another shade of blue, it's Tia, BC's Tia. Man who I have massive amounts of respect for. The only man I've ever seen charge down a Galactic Colossus with his commander and win. If you haven't seen that, check out one of Guile's casts. Anyway, back up to speed, back into the action, back into the gameplay. At the moment, I am hoping, fingers crossed, this is the first replay I'm actually recording in 60 FPS. I'm hoping the conversion process, it comes out like that. Apologies if it doesn't, but it should, fingers crossed, come through slightly smoother gameplay. Before the commanders managed to reach the centre of the map for their early-ish battle for the reclaim, I'd like to say that it was pointed out in the last replay that everything has become a little bit smaller from the other replays that I've done. This is actually to do with the fact that I have taken a leap from a 32-inch television, which I used to do my casts and obviously play on, to a 32-inch monitor. And I think the monitor's resolution has caused the replay to come in with everything a little bit smaller. So apologies, I am trying to figure out a way of getting everything back to normal size again, but I can appreciate that the names up here and the symbols on the units are a little more difficult to see. I can hear gunfire, We're going to have a look at whose commander is where, just to make it easier for me to see. We have in the centre Pachirico and, testing my memory now, actually Action going into the centre, an early, very early upgrade going on to Pachirico. They have Olex coming up for support as well. I don't know why, but that sound for me is still absolutely blasting my ears. There we go, FX. There we go, that should hopefully make it a little less abrasive. And on the second team we have Bladir having gone into the centre, very outnumbered. He does have Chosen in support. Actually be able to slow this down a bit. So at the moment there's actually quite a number of commanders in the centre. In fact, actually, where's Coach? There he is. He's got 1, 2, 3 commanders, and TF not having joined the party in the centre. Blackheart a little further closer towards the centre, taking part in deforestation as always. Crack this one back up to speed again. I can actually say, having seen this replay obviously previously, I always watch my replays before I cast them. This is one of those games that really does have a massive build up. I believe at the moment Team 2 are nicely fortified over here and Team 1 over here. Looks as if TF has taken his time to push forward. He's actually got Bladir really covering him off at the front here. No real presence. I'm actually going to speed this up to get a bit of presence on the field. We have a... I'm not sure, is that called an Aloha normally? I'm not sure whether it is. A Tech 2 tactical missile launcher, and that missile launcher is going to land on the mass point next to Bladir's land factory. He does manage to take out that land factory. It's going to be a huge blow to Bladir earlier on. 3 land factories out for Kocha on the left hand flank. Incredibly well supported. 3 commanders in the centre here, pumping their resources into this missile launcher. Is it Bladir that's going to have to pay the price? Ah, he has got a zapper up now, so that missile launcher below this area here is going to be made redundant by that zapper. An attack ping going down. Looks like that is going down. I'm not really sure whether or not it was worth 3 commanders pumping their energy so early in the game into a missile launcher. Heaviest presence on the field at the moment, I have to say, is going to probably be actually Action. Huge amount of units streaming down the right hand flank. Actually quite difficult to see which part of the map to commentate on at the moment. Kocha pulling around the left hand side flank here, trying to avoid Cavalrox's commander. But it looks as if, of all the players, actually Action is the man with the plan, pushing forward with a good amount of momentum down the right hand flank here. Surprisingly, the players that I've not seen a great deal from so far, unless I've missed it, Blackheart and Tiep at the bottom here, haven't really engaged. That's from the start of the map. Looks like Blackheart's chilling over here. He's getting out some Tech 1 engineers, probably wanting to establish a fire base. Just a whole lot of skirmishing going on. Bladir not really getting involved either, with the threat of a triple commander push in the centre here, although those commanders have actually retreated back. Interestingly enough, no one really wanted to commit their commanders to any kind of real battle at this moment. I'm going to have to speed it up again. There was a problem with slightly higher level play of this magnitude, with so many higher level players. No one seems to want to commit to any bold, ballsy tactics just yet. with threat being eliminated from the game. Looks like Coach has been dealt with, although Cavalrox has had to bring his commander quite far back to stop that little contingent of units, which has meant that Coach can now push up into the centre. As with all maps, it's generally split into 3 main flanks this map. Of course, you have the centre, and it's like a double flank here. You have the flatland coming around and the highland as well. Game paused, don't know who by. And Bladir having a lot of Viper fire, taking out a number of buildings in the centre here. He's got them covered off by a few rhinos as well. The thing is with Vipers, if I slow this down, I'm not sure whether in fact have they changed them. Yes, they have. Vipers, by the look of it, don't have the break that they used to in the original vanilla, which I play because I'm not good enough for Forge Alliance for Ella. And Kocha having made a massive push up the left-hand flank. I'm not sure whether it's part of his plan to commit Cavalrox's commander to take out the contingent of units in the north. But Kocha having pushed up and taken this small bit of land here, he's going to grab the mass extractor for his troubles as well. Pachirico coming back to defend against the second contingent of units, which are sort of a blend of FAMs and Zuis. 11 minutes and 22 seconds into the game. Still, the greatest presence for me on the field is actually Action streaming out units. We do have a run-by down here from Blackheart in the form of some hoplites. We slow this down. Actually, we'll go normal speed for this. And those crazy 4-legged hoplites have managed to push Tiet back quite significantly. So once again, we have a yin-yang attack. With Team 1 pushing down here in the form of Blackheart, and Kocha pushing up the left-hand flank in terms of Kocha. What has he got back here? He has got a single Obsidian tank and his commander back here, Tiet. Those hoplites are going to be able to outrange that Obsidian tank, although Blackheart still being fairly tentative in terms of his attack. Surprisingly, Pachirico not pushing up at the moment. I'm hoping he is going to. He is pushing back up, thankfully, with the huge amount of pressure Coach is putting on the left-hand flank. Blackheart having now retreated, and it does look like actually Action is probably the man with the plan. A huge amount of blazes. Anti-air, I don't know whether he's got any fervors in the mix, whether my eyes, yes he does. I believe at the back there he's got his fervors attacking that hydrocarbon of Bladir's. The Vipers harassing from afar against those long-range units. Speed is back up to +2, try and get ourselves some action going on. Quite a few attack pings and movement pings going down on Pachirico up here. We have a gun upgrade on Coach's commander, so Pachirico's going to have to be fairly wary being a UEF commander of that gun upgrade. So you're going to split the screen. I'm going to hope that the end key, no, it's not the correct one, it's home. Always forget that. We have 2 battles happening at the moment. Let's slow it down. So we have Tiep and Blackheart duking it out down here, and Kocha and Pachirico up here. Looks as if Pachirico's had enough of Kocha's incursion. He's going to try and push him back to his original starting point. Tiep is trying to prevent these hoplites from ever pushing around. He hasn't actually fully blocked off this area down here. He's got a lot of wall sections to stop him from getting a run around. With that gun upgrade and that PD at the back, I'm wondering, does he have any... He has a few. He has a few Ilshavers here at the back, Pachirico. And Blackheart with a few Cerberus turrets going up down here as well. Bladir making a huge push into the centre with Vipers. Bladir, I don't know whether that's the best of ideas against Blazes. Oh, I have to slow this actually down to -1. Action's happening all at once at the moment. Rhinos against Blazes. Don't know who I put my bet on. I'm probably going to go for the Blazes. This Rhino seemingly having a little bit of issue getting targeting done. Personally would rather have a couple of Obsidians in the mix. What he does, I apologise, 3 Obsidians in fact backing them up. I'd rather push them up into the front line. We go back to, and there we go, back into single screen again. Looks as if we have a triple standoff, really between Action, Bladir, pretty thin on the ground at the moment. Wondering, is there any, if we slow it down, it seems as if both teams are kind of waiting for something to happen. I watch these replays pretty damn quickly before I actually cast them, so I can never remember the smaller details. I can't see anything significant. We do have Harbingers out from Tiep, and anything from Blackheart. He is a loyalist, so looks as if it's all even Stevens at the moment. We'll push it back up. I can't see anything. What I was looking for ideally was an experimental being made. No, that's ambitious as in the first 15 minutes, but it does seem a very tentative match so far. A few sniper bots at the bottom here. I love, absolutely love to see sniper bots being used in games. It's so rare I ever see them. And a shield disruptor as well. Oh, it's a great blend of tactics from TF. I love to see units complementing each other. Such a fantastic array. He's got the sniper bot and the absolver, which actually takes down the shield instantaneously. Blackheart sensing the danger, shield having gone down. Huge amount of units still duking it out with Bladir. I do think with those Obsidians in the mix and a Harbinger as well, despite the fact that he's got a few loyalists in there, I don't think Bladir could withstand a attack from Action. Have a look in his perspective at the moment. You can see pretty much all the units there from Bladir. I'm surprised he hasn't been a little more ballsy and pushed in. I'm sure there's always a reason for it. If we slow it down, have a look at scores on the doors. In terms of mass income, at the tippity top of the tree is Olex right at the back here. Take a look at Olex just to see what he's done. 160. Oh, is that, no, that's just 16,000, being way too ambitious in terms of mass. Second to Olex, the mass counter is Bladir, and he's 7,000. Surprising, a huge gap in terms of resources. North-south divide. It looks as if 4 players, I mean, goodness me, Coacher riding on a meager 41 mass, Cavalrox 39. That's quite surprising at this stage in the game. Although, having said that, Cavalrox has had his mass points taken by... That is very, very cheeky indeed by Pachirico. He's managed to take these 2 mass points for himself. And yep, pushing Blackheart back. Now that's an achievement in its own right. Hoplite being taken down by the sniper bots, and because of the asylum protecting them, those sniper bots in very, very good hands. Bit by bit, yep, wearing Blackheart down. I'm not actually sure what Blackheart's answer to this is. but while we discover what Blackheart is doing, we're having another push from Kocha. It's very, very, very con-heavy battle so far in this game. Good mesh of Tech 2 units, and we do have a huge push from Kocha. Is he getting support? He is actually from Pachirico. He's going to come over and give Cavalrox a hand, having sensed the danger. Just want to make sure I don't want to miss anything on the right hand flank or the middle. Most of those units from actually action having been destroyed by a beautifully micro Bladir at the bottom here. What's he actually got down here, Bladir? He's still got the Vipers, he's got a brick as well, and a Trebuchet. That probably explains the reason why there's been massive thinning of units in the middle. Bring this back up to +1. Let's see these commanders duking it out. I'll take your bets now as to who's going to come out of this on top, because it does look as if both teams is 2 commanders against 1. Kocha having more in terms of backup. Surprisingly, I don't know whether this is a strategic retreat. He's pulling both commanders into the magnetism that is Bloodlust. He's bringing all of his units back, including the Ilshivers. Is Kocha sensing danger? I don't know why. He's still rocking on 28,000 hit points. Brilliant overcharge, taking out 2 units at the top. Is Kocha actually in trouble? Both commanders, Cavalrox having taken the majority of the damage. I don't think Kocha is in any trouble. I think out of all the commanders, Cavalrox is at the moment. That was a strategic retreat. He's brought them back to unleash the Ilshivers on Cavalrox. You'll notice that he's not interested in Pachirico at all. He's interested in killing off Cavalrox as quickly as he can. And I think that has been a massive mistake by Cavalrox. As much as he's getting help from Pachirico, we bring this back down to normal speed. A gun upgrade on that Seraphim Commander is so devastating. Cavalrox now down to 2,500 hit points. Has he managed to defend enough? Ilshiv is still at the back. He's got 3 of them in support. But Pachirico, I think... Oh, is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. 300 overcharge. Down he goes. Oh, dear. Cavalrox. Probably sensing the amount of backup he had. Of course, when you see a commander retreating, you usually think it's for a reason. Pushing up. Such a good play by Kocha, dragging that commander in and punishing him for it. I think really Cavalrox, with the help of Pachirico to his left, thought he could probably take him and overcharge the units, but it hasn't worked out. And Bladir has got a monkey on the field. Has anybody actually got a resolution for that? Blackheart has managed to halt the snipers, bots from Tiep at the bottom here. But with Harbingers coming in now, those trebuchets are going to retreat, but it's all eyes on the Monkey Lord from Bladir, the purple bringer of death. Actually, can't recall. I don't think Bladir's ever lost a game in one of my replays. You'll have to correct me if he has. He's a hell of a player, Bladir. And that is a second commander. I did not see who on earth that was. And it looks as if Kocha... Oh my god. I'm absolutely stunned. It looks as if a suicide... It went down with him. It was lowly. I'm having to look down at my name sheet here to remember who the hell everybody is. Pachirico going down with Kocha. And I'm not sure whether that's going to disable Team 1 as a second death, despite the fact that they have taken out a player themselves. But that monkey is... Our monkey is going to rain absolute hell. Oh god, poor actions base. That GC is not going to stand up. Almost looks like a bit of a caricature of itself, that GC, when it's that skinny. has to be one of my favourite units, the Monkey Lord. It is so cheap to build in comparison to other experimental units. It crushes buildings, units, just walks through whatever it likes. And that is actually action out of the game. Is that spider going to survive? It is. He is being harassed by Blackheart behind him. Oh dear, this is looking increasingly bad for Team 1. The magic that is Blackheart. I think he's just been distracted in a skirmish down here with Tiet pretty much all game. Huge amount of Harbingers and sniper bots down here. He does have a few bricks coming in, but with the sniper bots going to be able to outrange them. Got a couple of bricks here fending off the Monkey Lord, but it's not going to be enough. That monkey melting the bricks as it goes. Keep seeing this. I don't know whether this is a tactic used by better players. They seem to draw around their experimentals. I keep seeing it with monkey in circles. You see, for me personally, I'd just drive that monkey right into the centre of Blackheart's base. I don't know whether he's toying with them or whether or not he senses a very real and present danger. I can't see why Blackheart hasn't got anything. Maybe Bladeer's seen something which I haven't. I don't think so. He's pretty much got everything on his Omni radar. I've got it. I know exactly what he's doing. As Blackheart's the commander, he's not faffing around with the base. He's going straight in for the kill. Blackheart thinking, holy crap, I've got to find out a way of redeeming this game for the team. He's actually still got Olex behind him. I'm afraid I've not really said a great deal about Olex really having put together a fantastic amount of air support in terms of ASFs. He's got a GC on the ground as well. If he can get away from that monkey and those Harbingers, then Team 1 may, and I say may, still have a chance in keeping their game going. Blackheart, that's not the place you want to stop, buddy. Got the electron bolters from the front of that monkey, taking down units. He's got a brick in support, which will rip through most of the Harbingers. Cheeky overcharge there. I don't think he's got time to spare. He's going to have to bring his commander up here towards the GC without getting pulled into the magnetism of that Monkey Lord's laser. He keeps stopping to try and overcharge units, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Blackheart going down. He's just got too many Harbingers, and Olex stands alone. Absolutely alone. It is now poor Olex 4 versus 1. He's done he's not really done anything wrong. Ish as well. Not sure whether I introduced Ish at the start of the game. I'm hoping I did. Being the rear air guard player, I've not said a great deal about either. I'm terribly sorry, Ish and Olex. Both players having provided a good amount of air, but I'm afraid Olex doesn't look as if, with the production of that GC, as if he's got much air left. And I'm afraid to say, guys, if you lose air control in a game, especially when you're outnumbered, I'm afraid it's not going to be an easy game to win. And that GC is cruising. I'm not really sure what he's firing at. God almighty, look at the devastation of that base. He could get up another experimental. He needs to bring those engineers down to get that Monkey Lord wreck for some mass. Got a nuke coming in 2 minutes time from Ish. I can't really see Olex winning this. We pat this up to +3 again. And I think this is pretty much the calm before the storm. There's no amount of air that can be produced now. Ish is not going to allow Olex to climb back into the air game. It doesn't matter how much anti-air he's got. That GC being brought back for pretty much just defensive purposes. Where is that nuke coming from? We have... there we go. That is the strategic missile launcher down here. It's 3/4 done. GC will have to be brought back to defend against TF's Harbingers, with Blackheart now ejected out of the game. He doesn't have that support in front of him. I have to say, I do like the look of Harbingers. They're a very neat looking unit. They look so flimsy, but are so powerful. The sub-offense coming in as well from Chosen. At GC's height, managing to peek over the mountain. And another Monkey Lord from Ladir. I'm sorry about the downturn in my voice, but it is pretty much a given now that this game is going to end. That nuke going to be ready.
Strategic launch detected.
Ready. Out it comes. We'll slow this down for a dramatic finale. There's nothing Olex can do about this. He hasn't got any defense whatsoever. Nor should he really have to. His entire team is gone. He's trying desperately to defend the GC. Don't know whether he's seen the monkey going into his base. Olex has been defeated. Well played by both teams, all players as always. Quite an interesting match. I'm not sure what to say about that particular match. It wasn't as action driven as my usual replays, so apologies for that. I have desperately been trying to look for replays. There's so many settings being played by these big players at the moment. It's actually desperate to look for replays on different maps, different scenarios, different action, make them more interesting. So if you do see any replay that you think might be worth casting, pop the ID into the comments, because I'd love to do something a little more different. And as for this replay though, I have to say, out of the two teams, very difficult to give a player of the match. Probably going to have to give the player of the match. We'll look down the list. It is tempting to say Bladir, but I'm going to actually say Tiep. I felt that Tiep, for me, played interestingly. Good mix of units, but no, it has to be Kocha. I thought Kocha's tactic with the tactical withdrawal was absolutely fantastic. As for me, I'm sorry I keep zooming in and out, I am going to endeavour to put up another video in terms of tips and so forth, so please keep an eye out for that as well. I might be able to put that up today. But as for me, and as always, thank you for subscribing. Please like and comment the video, and I will see you next time.